As God has a plan to help you achieve your goal, the devil also has a plan to ruin you. The offers from the devil are tempting, as he offers you all the worldly things you desire. These temptations can only be overcome when your faith is really strong. Faith means to have a strong belief, complete trust and confidence in God. Pretty simple, right? Well, it is not as simple as it seems. Having complete trust in God requires you to be up and doing. Your heart needs to be strong enough to overcome temptations. You need to realize you have a God bigger than our problems, who is always ready to help whenever you have issues. You need to realize you can always run to God to solve all your problems, and He would always answer you. You need to be patient with God as He tests your faith sometimes. These tests might be very extreme sometimes. It is not like God is interested to see you frustrated, but He just wants to strengthen your faith and belief in Him. These trial times will expose the unbelievers that are disguised as believers. It will separate the strong from the weak and expose the weak for who they really are. Faith is the major thing that separates the believers from the unbelievers. The believers, understanding that God will always show up and show off with them. They believe God will never leave them stranded, and they are committed to making Him proud. Unbelievers do not trust God to take them away from the dark side. They do not believe God will see them through their trial period, and they do not believe every circumstance has God's print on it. God is the most merciful, and He would definitely forgive any unbeliever that wants to be a believer. But before then, He has a way of making His believers special. He makes things easy for them and opens many doors of opportunity. Sometimes you go through difficult times and you would not realize all you need to do is to simply put everything in God's hands. God has power over all and can command all things to obey Him. God is superior over all beings, so this should give us an idea that there is no problem God cannot solve. Sometimes He just watches you try to solve your problems yourself, just to prove to you that you are nothing without Him. You would definitely run back to Him and ask for help after everything you relied on has failed. God will accept you with open arms and help you through these problems. Success is definitely a fruit of hard work, but there are times you keep working hard and you do not see any success. There are numerous reasons that can cause this predicament. It could be that you do not work hard enough to complement your prayers. Sometimes believers could be lazy. You do not put in enough work to get what you expect to get. You expect miracles from heaven. Do not get me wrong, miracles do happen, but it still has to be deserved to a particular extent. You put in little effort and expect everything to be fine. The truth is that no matter the pressure you apply in your prayers, your effort has to be equal to the required result. You cannot laze around and expect to have a fruitful result. Just like when you prepare for an exam, you need to read your books, prepare yourself mentally before putting everything into God's hand. Strive to be perfect, and God will make you attain perfection. Success is always premeditated. You prepare for success. Opportunity has to meet readiness for success to be produced. This could be one of the reasons that cause success not to be attained. This can easily be corrected by putting in the work. When you put in the work and you pray to God and commit everything into His hands, success would definitely be yours. Sometimes you work very hard, but you fail to support it with prayers. It is evident that you have everything planned out, but there is no plan in place to commit everything into God's hands. You make this mistake all the time. You see someone working so hard, but it feels like he or she is just pouring water into a basket. All the effort the person has invested in the work would all go to waste. You are usually the cause of your predicament. You cause your own problems by yourself. Pray to God and talk to Him about your plans. Let God be aware of every step you are planning to take. Let Him be the beginning and the end of every project you have in mind. You watch people that are less hardworking than you make a lot of progress. Then you wonder how. This could be because they have the backing of God who is sufficient for them. Sometimes you purposely do not include God in your plans, and this usually turns out to be the biggest mistake of your life. God dislikes it when people test Him. When things start going bad, that is when you remember you want to include God in your plans. Well, it is not too late, as God will definitely accept repentant souls and continue to guide them in the right path. But imagine you have involved Him from the beginning. There's a big possibility that everything would have gone smoothly. And even if it does not, your mind can be at rest, knowing fully well that God is in total control. Majorly, you are the reason things do not go right, except in a few cases when God just wants to test your faith. Sometimes you compare yourself to other people, too much forgetting that everyone has a different fate in life. When you bring the most successful people in the world together and you ask them to tell you their success stories, you would realize that they are different people with different routes to success. You want to travel out of the country simply because your friend traveled out and he or she is now successful. Truth is, it might not work for you. Sometimes you grade your success with the success of your friends. Comparison makes the heart bitter. You should always remember that there are many people who wish they have it the way you do. You should always thank God for whatever situation you find yourself in. Give gratitude, as God knows what He is about to do in your life. These situations might not seem right to you at first, but when you hear other people's story, you will definitely give thanks to God. You would know that God has definitely been marvelous in your life. You are the one who just fails to notice. Whatever it is that might have blocked your way to success, as long as you have committed everything into His hands, it is all going to be fine. Most times, you fail to trust God with your problems, and that is the reason you are still stuck with that obstacle that is blocking your success. Definitely, you shall overcome someday, as you put all your trust in God. You should also make sure you cultivate the habit of hard work and also learn to put God first in all you do. You should also know that the journey of life is not a competition, and it does not matter who reaches his or her goal first. Hebrews 13 verse 20 through 21 says, "Now may the God of peace, who through the blood of the eternal covenant brought back from the dead our Lord Jesus, that great shepherd of the sheep," 21, equip you with everything good for doing His will. And may He work in you what is pleasing to Him, through Jesus Christ, to whom be glory forever and ever. The important thing is that you will reach your goal, as that is the will of God, and the will of God must be done.